Hi Sydney, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm Emily. I'm a student nurse, and so I would just like to do a little bit of an interview today, work on my communication skills, and then also get a good understanding of your health practices. So just so you know, everything that we talk about today is confidential. It stays between you, me, and a professor. But is is this something that you're okay with doing today?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So I want to begin. I know as a nursing student, I experience a lot of stress. Can you tell me about your stress levels? How you deal with stress?
For me personally, at the beginning of the year, I had a lot of stress with like all of the stuff that nursing inquired, but also I had 2 jobs on campus that I was kind of juggling between all the nursing stuff. So when I got into the nursing program, kind of everything was just thrown upon me at once. I kind of just didn't know. My eyes were like, I was like a deer in the headlights kind of look. Like I didn't know what to expect. So it was very stressful at the beginning of the year, and like the past few weeks have been a lot better, and me trying to figure out and balance things. And I ended up, because I wasn't feeling confident in how I was doing with all my mental health and everything, I ended up taking one of those jobs out of my schedule right now. So I'm only working one of them, but I'm still financially being able to stabilize myself with that one other job here on campus.
That's good. What kind of job do you do on campus?
So my one job that I'm not doing right now, it was a back office job for the admissions office. So I did like transcripts and SAT scores and stuff like that. And then my other job that I'm doing right now currently, I'm kind of like I'm a tour guide. So I'm about part of the ambassador program, but I'm also in charge of it. So like one step above, and I'm on the mentor team of that. So I train a bunch of the new people and also just kind of do daily tasks in the office and day-to-day things.
That's really cool. That's a good way to get involved on campus. So it sounds like you were learning how to balance that stress. I know that's something that I've had to do as well. So when you're balancing all that stuff, does that ever affect your sleep or your nutrition?
It affects more my sleep than my nutrition. I think sometimes with my sleep, I get too worried about like what needs to be done the next day that I end up just staying up and doing it so late. It's not that I procrastinate it so much. It's just that I feel like I have to get it all done in one night, and if I don't feel like I can sleep. But another thing is that I also have a bad habit of going to bed with my phone and stuff, so it affects my sleep personally, everything like that.
That happens to the best of us, sometimes. Sometimes your only time of the day to catch up on social media and stuff like that, so it can be tempting just to stay up on that. I'm guilty of that as well. There's some nights that I have the guilty pleasure of watching a bunch of TikToks, which is horrible.
I love
but
TikToks.
You start watching one and then you have to watch 100.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's midnight and you're like, oh my gosh, why am I not asleep yet?
Yep.
So you said that your schedule really doesn't affect your nutrition. So do you do pretty well with like eating a balanced diet even though you have a lot going on?
I feel like kind of like what you said earlier in my interview was that the meat aspect of is it a little low? Like for me, I'm just learning to cook, so I'm only in the process of like heating up like chicken tenders and stuff like that. Like I'm eating meats, and I have friends that like will swipe me into the dining hall where I get a lot more meats, but at home I like to meal prep, and a lot of what I do is a lot more pasta and like rotisserie chicken that I bought from the store or something. So not anything that I've prepared. So like I think more so my meat is lacking than other things, but I still like to eat all of it. It's just a matter of me learning how to cook it.
No, that's definitely understandable. I've done the rotisserie chicken thing too because it's already made and
Exactly.
I can spread it apart and separate it and have it for a lot of meals. That's really convenient.
Yep.
So you said you like to meal prep. Do you exercise regularly?
I wish. The only exercise of the day is my 15-minute walk to campus and my 15-minute walk back to my apartment. And then also, if I give tours during the day, it's typically me walking for an hour. So I do try and stay on my feet a lot more because I'm not exercising as I used to. But I definitely try. I should work in the fact. So a lot more of what I'm doing now, especially in the health pavilion with my nursing classes, I'll take the stairs instead of the elevator. just because I don't want to wait for the elevator, but also too, it helps me because I don't exercise. So trying to balance it in my head, but does it always correlate? Maybe not.
No, I understand that. Especially the weather's been nice, so I always walk to campus. Unless I have to get somewhere super, super fast, I will walk. Like, if I'm going to go to Switzer or anything like that, I'll also walk because it's a longer walk, but I tell myself, oh, that's my exercise for the day.
It's exactly my exercise.
And I do try to take the stairs unless, again, I'm in a hurry. So those are both really good ways to integrate exercise when it's not always feasible to get into the gym. So do you do any you said you do the tours. Do you do any other recreational activities?
I am involved with like an intramural team that is like sand volleyball on Sundays. I have not happened to be able to play yet, just because on Sundays I've had activities and like been meeting with other clubs and stuff. So I'm also involved with like Riley Dance Marathon and Student Nursing Association and stuff like that. So I've just been helping plan with a couple of those things, but also just catch up on homework on Sundays as well. That I do that, but I'm trying to think of anything else. I don't think I do anything else, but I do like to stay involved with things. So I try and do different programs and clubs and stuff. So that's just fun for me.
That's awesome. I wish I had I would have the time if I made the time, but sometimes it's just hard for me to like push myself to go do those things. So I think that's really awesome that you do all that. As far as like medical and dental practices, so they say go to the dentist twice a year, go to the doctor at least for a yearly checkup. Do you do those regularly?
Dentist, yes. Doctor, probably not. I did used to go to the doctor almost every year, but there was times that I just was so active in sports and stuff that my metabolism was high and my well-being was always pretty high, and the only reason I ever went to the doctor was if I was sick or anything like that. So yes, and I probably should go to the doctor more, but I don't unless it's a serious incident. But I go to the dentist twice a year. That's definitely something I do go to and try and take care of my dental health that way.
Okay, that sounds like good. So then I guess the last thing that we could talk about is relationships. How is your relationship with your family and friends and stuff like that?
Very good. My family, they live an hour and 45 minutes up north in Fort Wayne. So I'm very close with them. So it's very hard for me sometimes when I'm down here that I feel like isolated from them just because I'm not clearly with them every single day. So I haven't been able to go home a lot this semester just because I've had work on the weekends and other activities, and just I've been hanging out with friends a lot more this semester. But I am going to see them here soon, so hopefully that will all go well, and I'm very excited for that. But definitely sometimes I feel like I'm on an island sometimes when I'm not there with them. So I definitely try and text them and FaceTime them as much as possible. And in fact, my dad, he FaceTimed me for 2 hours last night, keeping me up. So that was really nice to just talk with him. But at the same time, I wanted to talk with him a little bit and get some sleep, but the sleep did not come very easily. And then the friend part of your question, I do feel like I have like friends here on campus. Do I always hang out with them? No, I wish I could, but with all of my nursing classes and homework and juggling my work and stuff, I feel like my only social life really right now is my work when I get to meet people and work with my coworkers and stuff like that. I wish I had more time to do that, and I'm definitely trying to make more time for that, but it's just all part of that learning process and trying to figure out stuff and when to do it and whatnot.
Yeah. No, that's good. And it's good to have self-control to be like, no, I can't hang out with friends. I have to go work on school. That's one of my downfalls. I'll put school aside sometimes to hang out with my roommates because they have a little bit easier schedules. And sometimes it's hard to, like, say no to them. Yeah. So that's good that you can put school first.
My roommates definitely, like, every Friday we try and do, like, a game night and, like, we bring some friends in and whatnot. And I think that's the one good time I try and, like, put things aside, but other than that, I definitely put my homework first, which I probably shouldn't as much as I do. But not a bad thing.
Yeah, I guess it's not a bad. It won't be a bad thing in the long run. So do you have any questions for me? Anything that we went over?
I don't think so.
Okay. So today we talked about sleep, stress, nutrition, exercise, relationships, covered just about everything regarding your health practices. In our requirements, they asked us to ask if you had any goals. Do you have any short-term goals for the semester or any long-term goals for your future?
For the semester is passing my first semester of nursing classes with like all the requirements, so passing all the validations and getting those 78% at least on all the exams and the midterm quizzes. That's definitely my short-term goal for right now. Long-term goal is then of course to pass the NCLEX and be a nurse and then start paying off all of those student loans that come with college.
Oh yeah, no, I understand. That's like my next. We graduate school, and then that's the next impending doom is paying that off. All right. Well, I think we covered everything that we needed to today. Thank you for allowing me to interview you.
Yeah, of course.
All right.